And I'm live. Hey, everybody. Welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. Can you hear me? Test, test, test. I've got the microphone like way across the table tonight. So welcome in. Thank you, everybody that is here and joining me tonight. Hi, Holly. I was a couple minutes late, but in my defense, I got lost. I was working on cards for some folks. And so I'm a little bit discombobulated. Hi, Heidi. Welcome in. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. Tammy's here. Oh, y'all gotta stop messaging when I'm on live. I get so discombobulated. All right, so we're just gonna wait a couple minutes, and I'll just say hi to people before we get to the meat of the show. We're really just gonna talk about the end of 2018. We've got 2 weeks left until the new year, new month, all that good stuff. And there's certain things that I think we need to talk about that we need to do to end the year on a high note and start the new year on an even higher note and set ourselves up for success for 2019. Hi, Thrifty Christy, Thrifty Falconer's wife, and the truth. The Miranda Files is here. Welcome in, everybody. So, and I'm gonna be as transparent as I can while I talk about these things, and I'm gonna tell you guys where I excel and where I'm failing. I don't know how honest I'm gonna be because some of it's pretty embarrassing on how far behind I am on certain things. Julie McBride is here. Hi, thank you for coming in. Bargain Shop Mama, Maggie Doodle, thank you. All right, so I guess the number one thing that we really need to be thinking about now to get caught up on and organized with before 2019 is our accounting. Hi, Justin. Hi, Tiffany. Our accounting, because we have until April to file. We certainly do. We have until April 15th to file our taxes, but who wants to be up all night April 14th getting it done? Personally, I would rather start now, and even if it's like 15 minutes a day, a half an hour every weekend, whatever time you can set aside, you should really be getting your accounting organized so you can file your taxes. I'm not going to lie to you. I have not entered a single receipt into GoDaddy bookkeeping since June. How scary is that? I have a stack this big just from freaking Vegas. I have, oh my gosh. They're not even put together by month. Like, at least I used to binder clip them together. You know, those little pinchy binder clips. I used to gather all the months together and then enter them. I used to do accounting every Monday night. I don't know what happened. We used to sit down every Monday night and Keith or one of my kids would help me read off the receipts while I typed it in real quick. I got really behind in May, so I got caught up in June with my kids' help. They like to read, Goodwill on McKnight Road, the date and the time and the amount of items I got. So I got all caught up in June. And then we went to Vegas. And then we came back from Vegas. And then, I kept saying I was going to do something about it. And then I admitted in Florida in October to Sydney and Casey and Colleen. I admitted to them, hey, I haven't put a single receipt into our bookkeeping since June. And they were like, star. I laugh at myself because it is funny because I'm typically obsessively compulsive and organized, and I set aside time every week for all the things I need to do, and they go in my bullet journal. But I also know that the flip side of being that obsessively compulsive and that organized is being a hoarder. If you guys have ever watched the Hoarder Show or you know anybody that's a psychiatrist or anything, they'll tell you that if a person who has OCD can't do something perfectly, can't do it absolutely 100%, or they get just a little bit behind, they feel like they can't do it at all. because it's not perfect anymore. And if it can't be perfect, they won't do it at all. And a lot of people who have those houses you see on Hoarders are actually obsessively compulsive and very neat people. They just kind of got out of control. And then it becomes such a big project that they can't do it all in one day perfectly, and they just don't want to do it. So I feel like that's what's happened with these receipts. The more time goes on, the more they pile up, the bigger it gets, the less I really want to tackle it, because I know I can't do it perfectly in one day. So yeah, that's my biggest confession of the night, guys. I have stacks of receipts that haven't been entered in since June. Everything else is caught up though. Like, well, obviously it syncs with PayPal. Our Poshmark stuff is in there. No, our mileage, we're really behind on our mileage. But that again is just in a book that we have to bring in from the car and type it in. But like all the consignment fees to his sister and to our my kids, and all the freelancing and stuff, it's all in there. It's just the receipts and the mileage and the yard sale. Well, I guess those are receipts too. So we're not talking about listing or death piles. We're talking about receipts and getting behind on accounting. So that's my big thing. I need to get caught up on accounting, and I am going to, I have to take a look at my schedule and what I do every day. Ideally, it would just be like either 5 to 10 minutes a day, where I would just sit down and do as many as I could on a timer and stop when it's done, and not worry about being a perfectionist, not worry about getting it all done in one sitting. Just run a timer for 5 or 10 minutes every single day at the end of the day or whatever, until they're all caught up. Or set a timer for, say, like 20, 30 minutes on Saturday evenings, and Keith and I sit down and do it together until it's caught up. And then moving forward, going back to picking one night a week that I sit down and do accounting. I can tell you, after we got back from Vegas and I was overwhelmed, a lot was going on. That's part of the reason I got behind. But I also know, and this is part of being honest with yourselves, if you guys are this behind on accounting, find out why. Find out what happened and find out why you're behind, so that once you're caught up and moving forward, you can fix that and never get behind again. I'm a firm believer in 100% admitting where I failed and then finding out why I failed. And I know, because Monday nights used to be our bookkeeping nights, and just the way circumstances fell, Monday nights became Tuesday. Our trash day moved to Tuesday. So Monday night became the night that we cleaned out the fridge and we got the trash together, and we cleaned the hamster cages, because we always clean the hamster cages the night before trash goes out. So hamster stuff isn't sitting in the trash all week or whatnot. And so Monday just became not an eligible day to do accounting. So if you're behind like we are, find out why. Are you someone that needs to actually pick a day and do it every week? Do you need to do 5 minutes a day? I know Casey does it 5 to 10 minutes a day. He just enters everything in every day. I think I'm more of a person that needs 1 day a week. But so that I just want to talk briefly about that. So what you need to do to go into 2019 is get your accounting organized so you're ready for tax time. That includes getting all your receipts in, getting all your mileage in, whether you use QuickBooks or GoDaddy or your own spreadsheet system. It doesn't matter what you use. I'm sure that you all have some sort of system. And if you don't have some sort of system, you need to get some sort of system for real. GoDaddy's real cheap. It's my favorite. It syncs with PayPal, although we won't be using PayPal with eBay for much longer, but it does now. So you need to make sure your receipts, your mileage, all your payments, you know, if you have GoDaddy, if you have a website, all your payments, eBay, anybody that you pay on a monthly basis for your business, that all needs to be entered, all your costs. And then just make sure that everything is organized and ready to go. So when you sit down to file, it's all there. Like, take a notebook and sit down and think about what you're going to claim as write-offs that you didn't have receipts for, or mileage. But there's things that you don't have receipts for that's not mileage that you're going to claim, like part of your house. I believe I heard a rumor, this is last year, we can do that. I haven't really looked into that yet. But yeah, so just make sure you're all organized and ready to go. So as soon as possible, you can file your taxes. Even if you're going to end up owing and you're not getting anything back, like if you do this full time, still, it's better to just get it out of the way. I actually think that moving forward, once we're caught up, we're going to start doing it quarterly, but we'll have to see. Oh, do you see Henry? Say hi, Henry. He says hi. So the next thing I think we should be doing this more than once a year, but right now we're talking about wrapping up 2018 and getting organized for 2019. We need to all be checking our inventory. So you need to take some time out and go through your eBay listings and double check that nothing accidentally got relisted that's already sold. If you cross post, just take a quick look through your closet or your Mercari or whatever and make sure that, you know, if something's sold on eBay, you took it off of Poshmark and vice versa. And just kind of make sure that there's nothing listed as actively for sale that may have already sold and got relisted on accident or sold on another platform and never got taken down. I know that if you have multiple quantities on eBay, problems if you sold a couple, and if you do the for 30 days, when you go to the unsold and relisted, the number goes back to the original one. And we have actually had things that just show up for sale back in the store after we've taken it out. And I don't know what's going on, but it happens. So just take a moment to double check all of that. Make sure everything that was cross-posted hasn't sold on other platforms. And then what I recommend is going through your actual inventory a little bit at a time. We usually take one bin or two bins a weekend, and we sit down together and we take each item out of the bin. We make sure it's still listed on eBay. A lot of times things will fall off, and I don't know how that happens either, but I can tell you that most of all of our bins with jeans have 20 items because jeans go in padded flats and they're a little thicker. They hold 20 pairs of jeans. And then all of our first class clothing has 35 items in each bin. So let's just say we're going through one of each. So we're looking at 55 items. I guarantee you every weekend we find at least 2 and sometimes more that aren't listed anymore. I don't know what happens. But things fall through the cracks. It happens, and you should be double checking that all the time. Number one, if something is listed that already sold, whether it's, you know, sold on eBay and got relisted accidentally by the elves that do it, or it's sold on Poshmark and you've still got it on eBay, vice versa, that's bad. You don't want to sell something that you've already sold. And then when you go through your bins and you find stuff that's not listed, it's frustrating because it's not making you money. Someone up there said you're a hoarder if it's not listed. There's no excuses. But when stuff falls off of your store, it really isn't your fault. You really can't help that. But you should be going through your inventory to double check it. You really should be. Because it's not in your death pile, so it's not going to draw your attention. You're not going to go through it. You're not going to photograph it. You're not going to list it. You just assume that everything that you've stored away, whatever system you use, is listed. And if it's not selling. And yeah, Michelle, like I said, we can go through 2 bins a weekend together and we'll find it's usually 2 to 4 items, but sometimes there's more. And I have actually found silver jeans and Robert Graham shirts and just like expensive stuff that we listed that somehow fell off. And that's, you know, it's frustrating, but at least if you're going through it, you find it. Bye, Justin. Justin stuck around for 15 minutes. Yay, no. I'm just picking on him because he does like live shows every day for like an hour or more. But yeah, stuff falls off and you just want to double check it and go through it. Make sure it's listed. And it's frustrating if you have to redo the measurements or you have to redo the photos, but it's not making you money if it's sitting in a bin pretending that it's already listed. I'm going to read this comment here from Harley Max. I'm lucky to make $12,000 a year reselling. I do keep my receipts and records for taxes, but if I miss something, oh well, it's a hobby. Yeah, but a lot of us are full-time resellers, or this is like a job where we make enough money that we have to stay organized. Sometimes I wish I had less to do, but we chose to make this my only job, and we're trying to rev up to get Keith home. So, but yeah, if it's a hobby for you, it's probably a lot easier for you to keep up, I'm sure. But if you're doing this full time, it's 100%. I don't want to use the word understandable, because you guys know I'm always telling you there's no excuse. You need to just do stuff. You just shouldn't let it build up. But we're human, and life happens, and things happen in life, and sometimes you get behind on stuff, and then you just have to accept that. You just have to be like, look, I messed up. I'm behind on this. I have a death pile. My receipts aren't listed. I haven't been through my inventory. Admit it. Find out why you're avoiding it, what's going on, when do you have time to work on it, and work it into your schedule and just do it. Like I said, Keith and I pick a bin or two a week, and we watch Doctor Who. So, hi, Lisa. Thank you for coming. Better late than never. But yeah, we pick a bin or two a week. Sometimes we do 4. Sometimes we'll do 4 bins, but we bring them into the eBay room. We turn Doctor Who on the laptop, and we just go through our inventory and make sure it's listed while we're watching shows. So, you can always work it into your schedule. So I have this little scratch paper with all my notes. Another thing we need to be looking at as we move into 2019 are our goals. Holly, I have been really sick a lot lately. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, though. It sucks. I'm behind on all the things. I'm better. I think I'm better, and I'm not going to be sick for a while. I'm like never going to eat out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just really over like getting food poisoning twice in 1 year, and I've like never had it before. I can't remember ever having it before. I don't think I have ever had food poisoning before, but I had it twice this year. And the flu and the cold. And you can hear right now even my voice is like really weird. But anyway, I don't like to make excuses. I just like to say, okay, I screwed up. I'm behind. Here's why. What can I do to fix it? And why did it happen? But okay, so the next thing we need to think about is our goals. What do you want to do for 2019? And you should always have big goals and small goals. Because you want to say, what do you want this time next year? What do you want to do for the whole year of 2019? But then you absolutely need to break it down to smaller goals to get there. And you want to make your goals attainable, but not too easy. I know I've said this in videos before, but if you make your goals too easy that you're not even challenging yourself and you're just kind of going through the motions, then you're never getting better. You're just doing the same things that you know you're capable of doing every day. You're never improving. You're never getting better. You're never challenging yourself. But you also want to make them attainable, because if you make them too much, too big, you're going to feel like a failure all the time, and that's not good either. You want to make it challenging enough, but attainable at the same time, so that you're improving and you're always getting better and you're challenging yourself, but you can accomplish them and have that feeling of accomplishment instead of a feeling of failure. And like I said, you want the big picture, like the overall goal, and then you want all the little tiny steps you need along the way to get there. So if you have one big goal for 2019, what do you need to do every month to get there? What do you need to do every week? What do you need to be doing every day? So break it down. If you guys don't have a bullet journal, now is the time to start one. I know I preach about the bullet journals all the time, but they are so amazing. You can start a new one for 2019. You can put all your goals in there, all your to-dos, your planner, your tasks, what goals you've reached, which ones you haven't, and you can go back every week and find out where you failed, where you succeeded, figure out why you failed, why you succeeded, what you can do to succeed even more. And you really can keep track of everything. I even put my water intake on my bullet journal. Every day on my to-do list, I write water, and I write 4 little squares because I have a 16-ounce cup. I don't have an 8-ounce cup. This is 16 ounces, so I need 4 of them a day. And I put 4 little check boxes to make sure I get all 4. And I'm not a big fan of water, really. I used to be when I lived in Arizona. When I lived in a really hot state, I really liked water because it really quenched your thirst in the desert. Not so much here. So I bribe myself. I buy lemons. I buy lemons by the bagful, and I cut them up all the time, and I put one in there, and then I like it. I also have filtered water, not tap water. Whatever I have to do to bribe myself to drink my water, I do it. But yeah, your bullet journal, you can keep track of everything. If you have medication, you need to remember. If you want to be drinking water, if you want to count your calories, keep track of your weight, keep track of what you're listing, keep track of everything you need to do in a given day and all your appointments and all of that. The bullet journal is amazing. Gee, Jeff, so yeah, when I lived in Arizona, there was nothing better on a hot day than a nice cold glass of ice water. It was like the best, most refreshing thing. Here, when it's in the middle of the summer, I can tell you I still like water. It is still refreshing. Right now, coffee. Right now, coffee is like so yummy because it's cold and stuff. But yeah, so you need to find out your goals, what your to-dos are, what can you do better next year, and break it down monthly, weekly, daily. Get a bullet journal. And you guys don't have to have some elaborate, watercolored, post-it noted, organized work of art. You really don't. If you're not that type of person, you can get a 50-cent spiral notebook from Walmart or one of them legal pads and just scratch notes on it every day. It can be as little as that or as elaborate as you want to go. I love coffee. We buy different creamers every week to try. We have a thing for creamers. There's like 5 in our fridge right now of different flavors. But I don't use sugar or anything, and I only use just a little bit. That's how I got out of putting sugar in my coffee. I used to use milk and sugar or half and half and sugar like years ago. And I started getting the flavored creamers, and I found out you only just need a little bit, and it sweetens it and flavors it. And then I got away from the sugar. It's like probably 10 years ago now. I keep digressing, but that's okay. We're here to chat. Another thing y'all need to be tackling as we wrap up this year, your death piles. Now, don't 100% get rid of your death pile, and I know I have preached about this before too. You need backstock. You need an emergency pile of stuff. Sweet Italian is really good. This right now is like mocha almond fudge. It was in the limited edition holiday flavors. It's pretty good. There's a hot chocolate with marshmallow one I really like too. The Reese's peanut butter cup, pumpkin, of course, and the Cold Stone Creamery. Those are all very good flavors. Okay, so your death pile. You don't want a giant death pile. You don't want to look like a hoarder. You don't want to look like a hoarder. I mean, that's the only word I can come up with. You don't want so much death pile that your house looks like a hoarder, that you have all this money wrapped up in this inventory that's just laying around and being a waste of money. But you don't want to have 0%, especially people in colder states, especially during hurricane season if you live in one of those areas, especially people who live near earthquake or tornado areas, because there may be a time when you can't go anywhere, when you can't go out and source and you want that emergency pile. It doesn't have to be huge. You can keep a week's worth of stuff. So if you list 20 items a day, you could keep an emergency pile of 100 items. If you're part-time or it's a hobby and it's 5 items that you list a day, keep 35 items around as your emergency backstock pile. I actually would recommend it for everybody, but I'm saying if you live in an area like where we live, you must absolutely have one in the winter. Last year, there was like 2 or 3 weekends in a row we couldn't get out. And thankfully, we had our back pile, so we had stuff to list. Personally, I like to keep 2 to 3 weeks worth around all the time, but we rotate it. So every week, and I know I've talked about this before, but like every week when we go sourcing and we bring everything in, the really good stuff, the more expensive, the better brands, those get pulled to the front and listed first above anything else in the house. So if we have our death pile, our back pile here, and then the new stuff here, from the new stuff, we pull all the best, most expensive, best stuff that just has to be listed. and do that first. We focus on that. And then we list our back pile. And what we just sourced becomes our new back pile until we go sourcing again. That gets listed and our new stuff goes to the back pile. So every time we go sourcing, we're listing our old stuff and the best stuff. And that stuff we just bought, like what we just bought today is going to become our new emergency pile. And we'll list from last week's sourcing. That makes sense. So even if you have a back pile or an emergency pile, it doesn't have to become a death pile that's sitting around forever and ends up out of season or whatever. Just rotate it. Green Mountain Suma Green Reserve coffee. I'm not really picky about the brand in my coffee, to be honest with you guys. I'm picky about the roast. It has to be the most strongest, robust, darkest French roast. Folgers, Maxwell House, I don't care. I buy Walmart brand sometimes. It just has to be that really, really dark, like super extra strong coffee. I like that. Tuesday morning has flavored syrup. I wonder if that's got more sugar in it than the creamer, though. Tiffany, I have an introduction. You can look it up when you have time. I have like an introduction to bullet journals on this channel where I talk about how to set up a new one to get started. And then in the description of that, I have a link to the original guy who started them and how he does his. I'm probably going to start doing bullet journal tutorials in January, like one every couple of weeks. I may make some templates like of how I do mine and do some giveaways of them. We'll see. Diner coffee's good. Hey, you know what? You all know, y'all want to know, this is going to sound funny, but I think McDonald's has really good coffee. I will not eat their food. I actually refer to them as McVomit, and I will not touch their food. But their coffee, and they always have dollar coffee, right? Oh, I love their coffee. It's really good. They have great coffee. It's only $1. Dark roast is good. Sugar free. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to look for these syrups then. But yeah, I'm probably going to be doing. I am going to be doing a bullet journal tutorial come 2019. It's going to be like a new series I start. And if I put some of my tutorial, like my templates together, I can do a couple of giveaways with them and then maybe put them up for a couple of bucks. I hate to be the person that creates something and sells it just like everyone else, but they take time and time is money. And if I spend, you know, an hour putting them together or 2 hours putting them together, I could have 20 items listed on eBay, and I have to kind of look at it like that. Like I can give a couple away for free, but I may have to charge for the other ones. But I would always keep my videos 100%, you know, just on the channel for free. But I do want to do a tutorial because I really believe everyone should have a bullet journal. I really believe it. I honestly, even if it's just a notebook that you write in each night, I accomplished this and tomorrow I'm going to do this. And that's all you ever write in it. You need one. Keeping track for taxes. So if you're going to be keeping track of your accounting, Lisa, the two best programs are QuickBooks and GoDaddy Bookkeeping. As far as which one we use GoDaddy Bookkeeping. It's a lot of it. It's not a little bit. It's a lot of it cheaper than QuickBooks. It's really super easy to use. It's got a great interface. And for as long as we still use PayPal for eBay until they forced us all into that new payment system. GoDaddy Bookkeeping syncs with eBay. So anytime you sell anything on eBay, it shows up in GoDaddy Bookkeeping. The payment from PayPal shows up. Your final value fee coming out shows up, already organized into categories. That's why I like GoDaddy Bookkeeping, because 50% of my bookkeeping is literally done for me. It syncs to PayPal and pulls every activity you have in PayPal goes into the back end of GoDaddy Bookkeeping. Most of them automatically organize themselves into categories, and the ones that don't, they come up under you can find them. I think it's called uncategorized, and then you just organize them where you want them. This was a business expense. This was office expense. This was sourcing, whatever. And you can create your own categories. That's why I like it. I think GoDaddy bookkeeping, the interface is a lot easier to use for a lot of folks. I have used QuickBooks, and I almost felt like I needed to take like a course on how to use it. GoDaddy, I just jumped in the back end and started playing around and figured it out. And it's cheaper. So I prefer GoDaddy. Some people prefer QuickBooks. But that's why I prefer GoDaddy. I feel like it's easier to use. I don't know. We'd never synced. I don't even know if you can sync a bank account to GoDaddy bookkeeping. I think you just sync your PayPal. Because then when we transfer out of PayPal to the business bank account, it categorizes that. I don't know if you can. We never have. Okay, we talked about death piles. So we need to be going through them. Don't get rid of them altogether. Keep an emergency pile. Get rid of your old stuff, guys. Seriously. If you have had something for 6 months or longer and you still haven't listed it, list it. Or get rid of it. I call those the I don't wannas. And we all have them. Everyone in here is guilty of it, including me. We all have the piles of the I don't want us. And for whatever reason, I don't want a pile. Whether you know it's going to need extra lint rolling, it's wrinkled and needs extra work, you know it's going to take extra time to comp it, you just don't feel like dealing with it because it's something you normally don't deal with. There's a lot of reasons things end up in the I don't want us. But if they're going to sit there for 6 months or longer, guess what? You've just taken money pretty much and thrown it on your floor. You have literally taken money and thrown it on the floor, thrown it in your storage unit, thrown it on the wherever you guys keep your stuff. You've just thrown money and just let it lay there for 6 months to a year. Whatever you spent on that item, you took away from the capital of your business. It could have been invested in something you enjoy listing that could have been listed and already sold and made you money. So you need to get into those I don't want to piles and decide, why is it here? Why am I not dealing with it? And just deal with it or get rid of it. Redonate it, take the write-off. You can get write-offs for donating. Bundle it up with something else and sell it locally, give it to a friend, throw it away and claim it as a defect or whatever. But just either take care of it or get rid of it. And if your I don't want to pile's really big, then just spend 10 minutes a day on it, or say I'm going to take 5 things out of that pile every weekend and deal with it until it's gone. And this is tough love. You guys know I like tough love. But seriously, if you buy things and then they just sit there, it's money that you threw on the floor, that you threw away. And I'm guilty of it too. I have an I don't want to pile, and I've been, taking a couple things out of it every weekend. And Keith has too, and we're working through it. But it's like, if you're going to spend $10 on a typewriter that you're just going to stare at because you don't feel like comping it, well, guess what? I could have bought, that's not good English. I could have purchased with that $10, 5 to 10 pairs of jeans from Goodwill and already sold them, So get through that old stuff. Get through your I don't want us. That's another thing where you need to just own it. You need to say, I have that pile, find out why you have it, and deal with it. You can hook a bank account to GoDaddy. Okay, I just never have. Tiffany, you are absolutely fine. I love questions. I actually really love when people interact and ask questions. And I love helping people. So you can ask a million questions if you want. That's fine. Keith has a personal PayPal. I have a personal PayPal. And then we have one that's the Hippo Hut. And we use that for business. And then we each have a personal checking and savings. And then we have one account that's the Hippo Hut for business. So we keep all of the business money separate and away. I pull a paycheck every Monday. I pay myself or he transfers money and PayPal to me. And we keep our business finances 100% separate away from personal. We draw paychecks and keep the rest in the bank as capital. And we kind of like only in the beginning, we only really touched it to source. We didn't get new printers or new laptops. We just touched it to source and built it up. So we could go from spending $50 a week at the Benz to spending $100 a week at the Goodwill. You know what I mean? But yeah, we keep everything separate. I recommend that even if you have a sole prop. A sole proprietorship business basically sees business money as your money and your money is business money. There's real no separation there. Even if that's the way you go, I would still recommend having a business account so you keep your capital away from your personal. Lisa, hey, you know what? Lisa, that's Keith's. Keith has an I don't want to pile, and it's all stuff that he just doesn't want to deal with shipping. So what we did was we sat down and we figured it out. We actually had a talk, and we figured that out. The reason Keith has an I don't want to pile is because he doesn't want to deal with shipping it. So our solution to that is before he lists something, after he brings it home and tests it. Mostly for him, it's big electronics, right? So after the photos and the testing and whatever he needs to do, before he lists something, he packs it up now. Now it's already packed, ready to go. He knows the exact weight on it if he's doing calculated shipping. And it's ready to go. And he doesn't have to worry about it. He deals with the worst part right up front and then lists it. Then we make our money, and then he can just ship it. What he also does now, on a lot of items that he knows are going to be a hassle to ship, we have same-day shipping. So on items that he feels are going to be an issue that he doesn't really want to deal with, he now lists them with one-day shipping. So he packs it up ahead of time, and if he doesn't pack it up ahead of time, he knows he has an extra day, and he's more likely to list it. He was just avoiding a lot of things because he didn't want to deal with same-day shipping on bulkier items. But that goes back to what I keep telling you guys. If you're doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing, figure out why you're doing it. Because the minute you find out why you're doing something, you can fix that behavior. You can fix that reasoning. You can find a solution. A lot of us do things over and over and over as part of our own behaviors. And once you can figure that out, you can change the behavior. You can fix the behavior. You can fix your way of thinking. You can approach it in a different way. So you just kind of need to approach everything in life like you're problem solving. Like, just don't worry about blaming yourself or feeling bad. Just be like, dude, I have a pile of receipts and here's why, and here's how I can not do it again. Money and PayPal are moving to the bank. So once a week we do we do accounting, just not the receipts, right? Now, once a week we do accounting. So we pull a paycheck for me, a paycheck for Keith. We pay eBay fees once a week. Some people do it once a month. Some people do it every day. Some people do it every transaction. You need to do whatever works for you. For us, it's once a week. And we then transfer everything from Poshmark and Boxery and all those other platforms to the bank, the business bank account. And then we transfer all of PayPal to the bank. We leave $50 at all times in PayPal just to cover returns and chat. If you don't have any money in your PayPal and you have to refund someone if they return something, it works like an e-check kind of, and it goes through your bank, and it takes like a week for people to get their money back. And Holly can tell you, because we were just talking about this the other day, Holly and I, she refunded someone when she had a zero balance after she had transferred money in her PayPal one time. It took like a week, and the guy got so angry. He was calling PayPal and eBay and her and everybody and just screaming and yelling at people. So it's a good idea just to keep some money in there just in case, because then you can refund them and it's instant. And cover shipping and stuff like that. Tiffany says, I'm sole prop. I have a business account I just opened because things are picking up for me. I was just trying to figure out if I need to open a new PayPal for. I would open a new PayPal for business, Tiffany. Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep all your business transactions and money separate from your personal stuff. But because you're sole prop, you don't really have to take a paycheck and you won't pay taxes twice. You can just take money when you need it and put it in your personal. But I would 100% say get a separate PayPal. Also, just because if you ever want to source anything offline and no one's going to attack your business, not that anyone would, but it has happened to some of the resellers I know. They'll source with their PayPal and someone gets angry and then they know their business, and just be careful. Hi, Kim. Thank you so much for coming in and for saying that. That's very sweet of you. I appreciate it. Tiffany, you're absolutely welcome. I love to help. I'm about 3,000 light years behind on YouTube comments also right now. That happened because of me being sick. That's just why that happened. I was sick for like 2 weeks and then I started to feel better and I was so behind. And then we had some stuff come up with Heath's family. I don't know if anybody has noticed, but I have been like off like social media for like 3-4 days. I just kind of disappeared. Just dealing with a lot, but I will, I'm going to start spending like 15 to 20 minutes a day on my YouTube comments to answer people and get that back caught up, because I used to always be so caught up and answer every single question and comment. If you get an order and they ask you to mail it somewhere else, do not do it. It's not safe. You're not covered. The minute you mess with the address, both eBay and PayPal will not cover you if it doesn't arrive anymore. So what you need to do if they do that is write them a nice message. The one I always send is, thank you for your recent purchase from the Hippo Hut. We appreciate your business. And while we understand that your address has changed, unfortunately, it is eBay and PayPal's policy that we have to ship to the address on file. What we can do for you is cancel the order and then you relist the item. You can change your address in PayPal and repurchase the item. We apologize for the inconvenience, but this is the policy of both eBay, PayPal, and our company. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. And most people are really nice about it. They'll let you cancel, and they'll repurchase, and they'll change their address and all that good stuff. Some people get really angry and irate and just want to cancel and you lose the sale. But I would rather have someone mad at me and lose the sale than have someone scam me or have no seller protection because I messed with the address. Most people are really super nice about it, though, and they understand. I had one lady tell me she moves in the winter she's a snowbird, and she didn't want to change her address. And I just explained to her, you can change it right back. You can change it as many times as you want. You just have to change it for this order. She was cool about it. I mean, for like every one person that ever got really mad and yelled at me or whatever, I had 10 that were super cool about it. And I've had like a couple that even told me, oh, never mind, just send it to the one on file. I don't know what that's about. So, Bill, I don't know, honestly. You're welcome, Millie. Hi, by the way, Bill and Dave. I love you guys. I don't know. See, I don't know. I feel like if I tell you what to do and it's wrong, I'm giving out advice that I shouldn't be giving. But is a Schedule C like self-employment? 1099, because Keith counts me as a freelancer, but I really don't know the answer to that question. I'll find out for you. I know someone. Oh, Getting rid of your old stuff around that you need to get rid of. Like to figure out why is it sitting there instead. Inventory that's old instead. My breakup? What are you talking about? I don't know. Oh, am I breaking up? He's playing World of Warcraft. He's probably hogging all the internet, all the bandwidth. You're welcome, Bill. I will ask a CPA, I know, and get back to you. Yeah, I saw it went out. It's been raining here. Why is my internet coming in and out, Keith? It's like literally keeps coming in and out. This is ridiculous. I'm on a new laptop. Is it back? I have things to say and 13 minutes left. All right. So your old stuff that's already listed. You want to get rid of it. You just want to move it, get rid of it. I'm a firm believer in leaving stuff listed. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my God, it's been in my store for 3 days and 3 weeks or 3 months, and I'm just going to pull it down and donate it. No, because if I already went to the trouble of purchasing it and taking photographs of it and listing it, I'm going to sell it. I'm not going to be one of these people that are like, well, it's been X amount of time and get rid of it. I think, okay, first of all, I think there are some things that are very long. There are that you are waiting 100% for the right person to come along at the right time. It's a unique item. You're waiting for that one person who's willing to pay $150 for a specialty vintage, whatever you have, whatever it is. There are some items that you should not be lowering the prices on, and you should definitely be sitting on for as long as it takes. Okay, person. But if it's like your run-of-the-mill bread and butter clothing that are selling, and in months, you kind of want to move it. So I would just suggest running really good sales, or you can lower the price, or you can do auctions to move old inventory. That's what we do when I want to liquidate old. We lower sale all of our items by every time they get listed. All of our hard goods, because I think I'm waiting for the right person. Like with all my plushies, I'm not going to lower the prices. I set my price for what I want, and I'm waiting for the Disney collector or the Build-A-Bear collector that's willing to pay what I want for it. But all of our clothing we lower by 5% every month and put it back. So when the price gets too low and it doesn't make sense anymore, it's been around for 9 months, sometimes I'll move stuff to auctions to liquidate it. I experimented for 3-4 months, way back when, long time ago. I experimented, and I found the best time for us to run auctions was from Tuesday p.m. Eastern to Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. A 5-day auction, and Eastern, it's 5 o'clock on the West Coast, and then 6, 7. It's a good time to end auctions. It's the best way. I experimented with a lot of stuff, but that was the best way. And I run them for 99 cents, but I charge really expensive shipping. And there are some that are like, why would you charge $7 shipping? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I still need to make my money. I also think $6.50, $8 for shipping, and they go ahead and bid that 99 cents. They know what they're getting in. 99 cents. I bring you guys in the staff. Yeah, no, I'm distracted. I'm just connected again. Okay, guys. Hey, I went over there to grab my phone, and wait for me to be reconnected. Sorry about that. Hey, guys, did you see Keith in the chat? Stop defending. He's lagging too on his game. Yeah, we've had a lot of rain, and I'm so sorry. Come here. Look, I almost had an entire video. It wasn't Hippo Hut, and now the hippo is falling, and I'm losing internet, and oh boy, distractions. Okay, it has been raining and storming. It could be affecting our internets. Now, I was trying to tell you guys about the auctions. So the shipping, I charge 99 cents starting bid and like $7.50, $6.50 shipping. The way I see it, that's a lot of shipping, but they see it before they bid. They know what they're getting into. It's not like I listed at 99 cents and then surprise when they win, here's your $8 shipping charge. No, it's there from the beginning. They know what they're getting into. And the very last thing I think we need to think in 19 are going to be doing a lot of discussing this and a lot of brainstorming. Shipping. We have free shipping on all our first class items. And starting at the first of the year, not only are the rates going up, but they're going to start charging for due priority by how far it goes. No longer like easy enough to say, well, this shirt's 10 ounces, it's going to cost $3.50 to ship. So I want 12 for this shirt. I'm going to list it for $15.50 free ship. Because depending on where it goes or how far it goes is how much it's. So that's just something we need to think about. We may be moving into charging shipping on everything, calculated by weight, just doing free returns on everything to like offset that. So I'm going to recap real quick for some questions before I take. So as we move into doing at the end of 20 and get ready for the new year, get your accounting caught up. Check your inventory, both what's listed and cross-posted, and your actual inventory. Just make sure nothing fell off. Get your goals and your to-dos and what you're going to do in the new year ready. Think about stuff like that. Get rid of your death piles, get rid of your old stunnas, and think about liquidating through some sales, knocking down prices, and do your shipping in the new year when the prices change and the method changes. Ta-da, recap. And we almost got through a show like a professional, but unfortunately, this is the Flippin' Hippos channel. And live shows are always a joke. Not a joke, but they're always funny, and something always goes wrong. At least I didn't drop the camera this time, right? Guys, I got at that hour mark, so if you do have, let me know in the comments, and I will. If you think you can always come back and comment. Like I said, I know I'm behind on comments. I'm going to be spending 15 to 20 minutes a day getting caught up and making sure that I, like I used to before I was sick. A website for that. Fun to watch. I'm actually going to go to this website right now and copy paste it into the comments over there for you guys. And then once this goes live, it takes about 2 hours to show up on the back end of my YouTube where I can edit. Once that happens, I will put this in the description down below. But that is the website. You go there, and here, let me show you. I always forget I can screen share. Let me share. Okay, so you go to that website. I have it bookmarked because, you know, I love bookmarks. So I have it under my listing tools here. This is the website. You in there, so I would, and you have to that and get items, and then it tells you it takes a couple. Why my Bonanza is open. It takes a couple minutes, and I think I closed my chat. Yeah, I'm so fun to watch. Amateur hour at the Hippo. Hut. All right, so after the 2 minutes, you see this? It's, oh, wow, we're really down. I need to start listing too. That is really bad. Look at that. We wanted to be at 2,000 by the end of the year. Not happening. Okay, anyway. Transparency, and excuse me. I didn't have any duplicates. You see that? Now, if I did, it would show them in a list here, and they would either be highlighted in yellow, orange, or red. Now, a lot of us have similar items. You'll have like 2 or 3 pairs of not your daughter's jeans, and they're all black and they're all flare and they're all boot cut, but they're different sizes, or sometimes they're the same size and one's flare and one's boot cut, and they're similar. They may show up here in a list, but they'll be highlighted in yellow or orange. And if the titles are exactly 100%, it goes by the title. If the titles are exactly 100% the same, then they will show up in red. So it goes by your titles in eBay, and if they're somewhat similar, more likely to be a double, or if they definitely are 100% alike, they'll be in red. And then you'll be able to fix them so you don't have duplicates anymore. I'm going to put my face back on for y'all. Where's my face? Oh, boy. Y'all, I have no business being on YouTube. Lisa, thank you. That's so sweet of you. I love it. That's great. Hi, Jamesons. We are actually just getting ready to wrap up. You can catch the replay if you want. We're nearing the hour mark. So anybody that has any last minute questions, go ahead and toss them up there, and I will do my best to answer them. And I can't believe I must have some unsolds. We're just going to go with that. We're going to say some stuff fell off that I need to go in and sell similar bulk at it, because they're, wow. We sold a lot this weekend, though, so that could be it, too. Oh, Jameson's, I will watch from beginning. I was lazy. Hey, I took a big part of yesterday and read an entire book. You know, me, who's behind on all my accounting. My listings are I laid on. I sure did. A whole book. I think we're all entitled to have lazy times once in a while. I would say if you're doing it every day, it's a problem. But if you're working your butt off, you're working hard, and you take a day here and a day there, it's fine. Hi, Drew, Florida. You are absolutely 100% welcome. So it doesn't look like anybody has any last minute questions. So if you think of anything later, you guys can always leave them down below. I do see one. I'll get to it. Or the best way to get a hold of me is either leaving comments on YouTube or Facebook Messenger. There is a Hippo Hut page on Facebook. You can talk to me. You can get a hold of me through Instagram, but I don't have notifications on for that. And sometimes messages will sit for 3 or 4 days before I remember to check if I have messages on there. Messenger on my phone, it notifies me. Jamie just had a really fun typo in a message he sent me. But yeah, I have the notifications on my phone for Messenger, and they also pop up in the corner. I have a Google. They pop up every time I get a Facebook message. It pops up on my screen. So if I'm not near my phone and I'm listening or working, it'll pop up. So that's what I like to tell people. You can contact me any way you want. Bad about checking, like maybe once a week. I'm really bad about email. Instagram, I don't have notifications on. YouTube comments and Facebook Messenger is the way to go, or the Facebook Hippo Hut page. That will, if anything comes up there, that pops up on my screen for me as well. Will you have any new issues with a brand new PayPal account? I don't believe you will. I don't believe buyers will know anything about your PayPal account. They only see your eBay store and your feedbacks and stuff like that. So you should be 100% fine. If PayPal was to get a hold of you and ask you why you have two, you just explain, because I think when Keith opened his second one, they were kind of questioning it. He just explained that he was opening one for business that he wanted separate. Button, I would like to extend a very special thank you to all of my moderators, except for Jamie, who was busy cooking instead of coming to the show. But I'm actually going to show his food to everybody. He just sent a photo to me of his food that looks like something you would see on Top Chef. That is amazing cook. And to all my moderators, I appreciate you. I am working on your Christmas card. I'll say it every time I go live. And the fact that you take an hour of your life to with me and hang out with me and listen to me ramble and drop my camera and act like a goofball. It is appreciated. Everybody comes, you just come because it's fun. If you'd like to, please help us feed all of our hungry hippos. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Flippin' Hippos. Until next time, you guys have a good night. Be productive. I love you all.